Okay, everybody out there in YouTube land, everybody catching the stream live, thanks for joining in. We're testing out some Grixis Shadow today with the new hotness Ledger Shredder. Let's see if we can get our little preview pane here. So for the people who have not seen this card yet, it's a new rare from Nuka Penna, 1 in a blue for 1/3, Bird Advisor with flying. The important part, it's the second little paragraph of text here. Whenever a player, you or your opponent, casts their second spell each turn, Ledger Shredder connives. So you draw a card, then you discard a card, and if you discard a non-land card, you put a 1/1 counter on him. So kind of help filter through some of your dead stuff late, your extra Ragabands, ditch your Grixis to the graveyard to be able to escape, ditch extra copies of like Dress Down when they're dead, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Hand Disruption, whatever. You can add Jagantha to your hand late when you don't need it and ditch it just to make your Ledger Shredder bigger. But it just gives you another like decent sized flying threat. So we're going to be seeing how it performs today instead of Street Wraith, which we've been kind of running in that spot, which means we get to open ourselves back up to running Jagantha as our companion. So the main deck, not too different from previous Shadow lists. It's almost strictly cut 4 Wraiths for 4 Ledger Shredders. We might end up wanting the 18th land, but I figure with Shredder conniving, like maybe we'll find it, maybe we won't. The sideboard, not too different from typical Shadow sideboards, like some Terminates for the big stuff, Spell Pierces, Mystical Dispute for the unfair stuff, EE for the go wide stuff, Soul Guide Lander for the grave stuff. So we'll see how it goes out. Wallet Shredder, right? Apparently they're only like $9 in paper, so I think if you're sold on the card, I'd probably like go to pick up some pretty early. Bird is the word. You should play 4 Leyline in the sideboard. I mean, it was pretty decent last time. And we got to strand like 2 Murktides in our Murktide opponent's hand. But that means you got to find stuff to cut, and that's the pain part. What do we got round 1? Hopefully something cool. It's Yogg, Living In, and Murktide, 3 of the most popular decks right now. That's fair. Those are all good targets for Leyline. 4 Leyline's main, cut Shadows easy. I mean, can you Temur Battle Rage a Leyline of the Void? Because if you can, you might be onto something. But I'd be fine with swapping out to 4 Leylines next league. Give it a shot. With Opalescence as you can. Kind of like that Legacy Leylines deck. It was around for like a week and a half. Steven, what's up? Alright, we're gonna find an opponent eventually. 1,000 people in here. My phone did not send me a notification. Well, it's a good thing you're on Twitch like 24/7. Dying over here. 4 birds is a start to test them, but I think the correct number is going to end up at 2. Possibly. Like, I haven't played the card yet, so. We're on the play. I think I'm gonna roll with it. Like, if Ragavan connects and we can clear out a blocker, then we're in really good shape. We would start polls and kick out bots if I wasn't here for you. I mean, I'm not the worst at kicking out bots. I'll get to them eventually. But for starting the polls, yes, you are an absolute necessity. I could not run the polls without you. You complete me. What? Alright. Alright, so this is good for making sure Ragavan gets to connect. Big Bucks, no Solitude. Alright, so we really hope to just, like, not see double 2 drop. We'll just take the Pure Steel. Now, second land to be able to dress down would be huge. But we get to dress down regardless because this Ragavan's likely to hit next turn. The man, the myth, the Shredder themselves. Alright, now how do I want to do this? Do I want to play out the Shredder? Nah. Just gonna pass here. See, new question, but what does Giganta do for Shadow decks? I've seen it in several lists, but didn't understand why. So, if you're not running Street Wraith, it's just free. Like, there's not a double red, double black, double blue card you're running. In this list, we're running Ledger Shredder over the Street Wraiths, which, ironically, Street Wraith would look better right here, but not the point. And since we're not running Street Wraith, like Giganta, we just get to play for the heck of it. Alright. Are we attacking? I kind of feel like I need to counter. Like, would I trade Ragavan for a token? Because if I attack and then make a token and I have to kill it, I can't hold up Dress Down. So if they go to their turn, make a token and equip the Shadow Spear, I can't kill it. So I think I'm just gonna pass. See if they make some tokens. And hopefully I can, like, 2-for-1 this Dress Down. So the hope here, alright, land is really good. Hope here is that they'll, like, make another token and then either go to equip the Shadow Spear or play the Sentinel, whichever one. I don't really care. Just something that lets me get this Dress Down. Obviously, going to equip the Sentinel with the Shadow Spear would be better, but might be the case if they don't have another white source. Alright, so if they attack, I'm taking the 4, because I want to cast this Dress Down at the end of turn. But at the same time, if they go to equip the Shadow Spear, I have to respond to that. Not go to equip the Shadow Spear. Alright. Alright, Alright, so now do I want to clear the Memnite out of the way? No, I think what I'm going to do is attack with Ragavan, offer the trade, because Ragavan's not making a treasure anyway. And I wouldn't mind just getting another creature off the board. And I think I'm just going to play Ledger Shredder. Kind of set up for a good next turn where I can like play Shadow, play Drown, play Thoughtseize and Shadow. Fetch Swamp and play Shadow. It'll be alive with the Dress Down. I'm throwing away life points here. Alright. So if I play Shadow, Drown and Lock the Giver. How's the bird? No idea. This is the first time we've casted this league. Alright. Play Shadow. Nope, nope. Hold priority. Hold priority. Damn it. No. No. Priority, why you let me down? Priority, thou hath forsaken me. Thou hath forsaken me. Alright. We'll figure something out from here. For some reason, like, I just thought I'd already fetched and... Ugh. We're gonna chalk that one up to, me being stupid. Finally, Mike took my advice. It just took a second. It's fine. We got there. And we're very clearly going to top deck another Shadow, so... There's never any doubt in my mind that it was going to work out. Oh, I haven't even updated Stream Decker yet. Whoops. Let them do what they're gonna do in the meantime. Oh yeah. Do self. Stoneforge. No. Stoneforge for Nettle Cyst. Alright. So, my thought seizing a Nettle Cyst. Probably. Does that put me like just dead here? Do I need to Unholy Heat Construct token instead? Like if I play Ledger Shredder, Unholy Heat a Construct, and grow both my Shredders. They can Stoneforge in the Nettle Cyst and equip it. Get a really big construct. Or just put it on something else and I have to chump multiple things. Fortunately, I think I kind of have to. I guess I could... Nah, I can't really unholy heat the Stoneforge Mystic. So I'll hang on to Bauble in case I need to double spell next turn, if I get a next turn. So I expect this is just going to be like Stoneforge, put in Nettle Cyst, equip Nettle Cyst to something, and get in and attack. We're just going to cast the Nettle Cyst. Alright. I will 100% block that construct token. How close are we to killing them? DRC. So I can drown something. Shredder draws me into DRC. I ditch the polluted delta. It doesn't grow the shredders, but does give me a channeler. So I can kill the construct. Yeah, let's go with that. Kill you. Discard Delta. Discard Bauble. Am I attacking at all? I do just have lethal flying attackers next turn if I attack here, so... That is not a spell to cast off a Ledger Shredder. Uh-oh. So they can play the hammer and equip the Shadow Spear. Or just go with the unblocked dude. Yep. Alright, that Shadow discard absolutely cost me that game. But that's why we get post-board games, so that my punts can't cost us the match. I'll give myself a punt. Alright. Hammer time. Hammer time. Shredders seem okay, but I think they're going to be a little slow here. Something like that. Trim down on some shredders. Or would I rather have Shredder over, like, an iteration? Probably, because it can block. Stands in front of a Sanctifier on Vec pretty well. Yeah, I'll buy that. Damn red down arrow. What did the red down arrow do? Yeah, Warp, sounds like we're on the same page there. Shredder getting to stand in front of something and block sounds a little bit better. I think I gotta ditch this. Way better. What are we dropping? By the way, another streamer that I follow called Mistmin reached historic #1 with Grixis Shadow. Nice. That's awesome. Big props to them. Alright, so I think I'm going to keep this and just bottom the Terminate. That way I've got Saga covered, Sanctifier on Vec. I got a reasonable amount of stuff covered. Saga, Sanctifier, a dude, something in hand. Zachrom23, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome, what is it, Monday? Yeah, Monday. Alright. No TBR on this list is Big Sag, but I guess you cut a terrible card, so that helps. Yeah. That's what you gotta do with terrible cards. You gotta get them out of the deck somehow. Cigar to aid and then Night A. Alright. What do we see off the channeler? Grixis. Go to the graveyard. Alright. I think we're just gonna take Pure Steel Paladin. No. We'll take Stone Forge. Yeah. So my thought here is if I take Pure Steel, they're a little more likely to just like play out the Stone Forge on turn 2. And if they don't, I can hold up Dress Down for it. If I take Stone Forge, I think they're way more likely to like wait for a third land with Pure Steel, but I don't want them to have a hammer. So yeah, we're just going to take a Stone Forge. And now this Unholy Heat turns on Delirium off our channeler. I'll keep it Turok. I can just play that out as like a good attacker. And if I don't want it, like if they play the Pure Steel here, then I can upkeep the Unholy Heat and get the Pure Steel off the top. Yeah, Turok having pro white is indeed Pog. Now, do I want to hold up Unholy Heat or hold up Dress Down for the Pure Steel? Or do I want to just get down Turok? Like, all it would stop on the Pure Steel is them being able to draw a card off Hammer. Yeah, I'm just going to get down the Turok. I don't think there's a good way for me to play around the Pure Steel. Like, they're either going to be able to play it and hold up Blacksmith skill, or play it and hold up Colossal Hammer, or Colossus Hammer. And I can't really, like, force them to make the first move. I guess I get a little bit punished if I play or draw the third land. Because then I could have, like, cast Dress Down, forced the issue with the hammer if they wanted to draw a card, and then respond with Unholy Heat. But at the end of the day, this This Turok can stand in front of a pure steel paladin pretty well. And there's always the chance that they like play the pure steel, play the hammer, and I top deck like a drown in the lock. Okay. So this is a really good scenario for me, because now I get to respond to the Colossus Hammer with Dress Down, so they can't draw a card. Or respond to it with Unholy Heat if they go for that. Relic of Progenitus. Alright. Slight bit annoying. We'll get rid of Unholy Heat. Alright, so the last two cards are Hammer Blacksmith Skill. Now, do I want to just start attacking with Turok? Yeah. Opponent missed a force kill on DRC. Did they? How'd they miss a force kill? Let me go to combat and activate relic. Oh, sure. Sure, making the channeler attack because I had delirium. So, if I don't block, they cast the hammer, I take 12, they can blacksmith skill for lethal. Fetch land would be nice here. Always on time. Kevin, what up? We're just trying to cast some of these here shadows and not let them kill us this time. I think I just want to go double shadow. Actually, no. I'm going to hold up Dress Down. So you go for hammer, I respond with Dress Down, so you don't get to draw a card off your pure steel. This does get both the hammer and the blacksmith skill out of hand. Yep. Oh, they screwed up. Oh no, it's only if it's an artifact creature gets +2/+2. I thought it was any time it did. Never mind. Slightly less screwing up. Alright, what do you got coming off the top? Sanctifier on deck. A big sanctifier on oof for me, dog. Oh, never mind. Never mind. So let's go. Drown the hand, heat to the bottom, polluted delta to exile. Cast that there, polluted delta. And now we're gonna hopefully answer a sanctifier on Vec. How does the pro black versus pro white work? They cannot block my pro black dude. I can't block their pro white dude. We sit here and stare at each other from now until the end of time. But I can counter their pro white or pro black dude, so. Alright. Now we're feeling pretty okay. So let's think about how this is gonna go. I attack with Turok, they make a construct. I unholy heat the construct. Pass the turn. They make a construct. Go get a hammer. Hammer automatically equips. I just have Drown in the Lock for it. Seems like a reasonable line of play to me. We attack with Turok. They make a construct. Or they just take 2. Okay. So I will play a Shadow. How does that question work? I think it worked. I think I got what he meant. Go ahead and unholy heat in case they draw a blacksmith skill. That way at least the new construct doesn't have summoning sickness, or does have summoning sickness. You get what I mean. Like at the moment I'm presenting lethal, they've got to add more to the board, so we're chilling until it's time to not chill no more. That doesn't do anything. Now do I want to just cast this now? Yes. Alright, on to game 3. We have to go to game 3 because I was busy punning game 1. TBR for the win. You can't TBR for the win if you don't have TBR. It's one of the saddest sentences I've had to say on stream in a while. Yeah, we had a pro white Turok, so they couldn't block it. How does work? Are we getting philosophical here? Yeah, this hand's alright. Please no turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Please no turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Dang it. Alright. Am I just casting Inquisition into this? Probably. Dogfish, what up? Yeah, like I can't just spend the entire game being afraid of this. No. Another Esper Sentinel, March of Otherworldly Light, Sigarda's Aid. So if I take... I just have to take Sigarda's Aid, right? Like, I can't take the other Sentinel, because then they just aid plus hammer me next turn. I could take the hammer and try to get it 3-for-1 on double Sentinel plus aid. But that means I have to go, like, shields down next turn to play out an EE on one. And if they top deck another answer, I'm in a lot of trouble. Top deck another hammer effect. So Death Shadow is dead. I wouldn't say it's dead. You just don't get to play a lot of these broken cards, right? Alright, let's just play out the bird. Careful with those words. Michael have to commission a Ledger Shredder emote. And the Pure Steel. Crap. That's what I was worried about. They would just find a Pure Steel and I'd be SOL. Now if I E, they get to draw 2 cards. Alternatively, I can hold up K command, destroy an artifact, 2 to the Pure Steel. Is that better? As long as us boomers are around, cards like Death Shadow, Tarmogoyf, and Lingering Souls will never die. True that. True that. Like, the problem with EE on 1 is it means they get to keep Pure Steel around. So, like, anything, another hammer, let's see, another hammer, Stoneforge Mystic, Blacksmith Skill, any of those just put me in like a god-awful spot. So I just feel like I need to K command. Destroy Sentinel, 2 to Pure Steel. 11 generic mana. Just ditching Channeler. So I can double spell next turn. Yep. So I know they've got a March of Otherworldly Light. Maybe there's the chance they don't play it. Opponent has seen the line. Alright, so I can Unholy Heat the Sentinel. Which has got to be like my best play. Those all plays look terrible right here. This lets me get a tapped shock land off this polluted delta. Really tough to see how opponent wins this one. I don't know, honestly. I can't think of a line opponent has access to that gets them out of this. So I can EE on one. Take out the hammer and the aid, but I think at the end of the day that doesn't do enough for me. So let's iteration. 66 viewers, no raids too. That doesn't sound like 69 viewers. Ugh. Alright, so Blood Crypt is nice to have, so we get another land drop without having to pay life. So let's go Drown in the Lock to hand. I would really like this Turok. I want all of these. Turok would be super nice to have, but I think I have to go Drown in the Lock to hand, Blood Crypt to exile. Get another land drop, play E on 0. We dedge. Hopefully not. I mean, like we said, I don't know how opponent gets out of this one. What are they gonna do? Kill us? Not on my watch. I guess that is a line they have available to them, isn't it? I kind of forgot that can hit artifacts. That's okay. We still got this construct taken care of. Oh, yeah. I guess they can just fire up Ink Moth and kill us. So, yeah, we were dead. All opponent has to do is fire up Ink Moth. There we go. Punt game 1. Oh well. We move on. I think Freed's comment about 4 ledger shredders being too many is probably right, and I probably need to add an 18th land. Going off this expert one-match analysis. But Mike, the opponent is not nearly as good looking or personally successful as us. That's to be determined. Like, I don't know what opponent looked like, and I feel like there's a lot of room above our current stature. But I can almost guarantee that I've got 100% more Wendy's Dr. Pepper than opponent has. I personally don't like Shredder a ton in decks that don't actively want non-lands in their graveyard, but this deck does want non-lands in your graveyard. Like, you want to have Delirium for Dragon's Rage Channeler and Unholy Heat. You want to get Kroxa in the yard. You're fine trading off Hand Disruption late game for new spells. Emily. I wonder if our opponent's name is Emily. Wording might be meh. I mean more Reanimator, Phoenix, Greasefang. Oh, you mean like you don't want some big intentional thing in your graveyard? That's fair. Ragavan. See, like, I don't really want a Ragavan here. I want another land. So, although this isn't a shredder. Walking Ballista. Our nemesis. Our nemesis has appeared. We knew we couldn't escape them forever. So let's go ahead and Inquisition to try to get Delirium online. They do in fact have the Tronage. So we'll take Walking Ballista. Alright, so we just need opponent to not find a payoff for like 4 more turns. It'll be fine. Opponent's never found a payoff in their entire life. Bobble first, give myself a little bit better chance of finding something I can, or finding another land off this iteration. Nope, go away. Deck really wants me to have Death Shadows and Ledger Shredders. So let's go Shredder to hand, Shadow to the bottom, Tarn to exile. Tron with Nat Tron, Tail as old as time. Tail against me is old as time. Like, oh man. I need to go make just like a Tron composite video of just all the times that I've had my opponent rip natural Tron or find some way of getting out of it after their like abysmal keep. Yeah, like MTG Bot says, the missing Tron land and payoff always on top of the library. Every time. Like, hey, they didn't have that in hand. It's like a Trinisphere. Ballista on 1, sure. I'm no expert, but that doesn't seem really like the greatest use of a Walking Ballista. Alright, so let's attack down Karn. Play out a Ledger Shredder and a Kroxa. I guess I should have probably... Yeah, I think I probably should have Ledger Shredder plus Inquisition, but I really wanted to get down the Kroxa next turn, or escape the Kroxa. And like next turn I can Unholy Heat, Planeswalker or something, plus get Kroxa down. And they're guaranteed to whiff on the Ancient Stirrings. Like, they've only got 40 payoffs in their deck, right? Watch this. Biggest whiff of all time. They've never had a relevant spell in their life. Called it. Biggest whiff ever. So we've got Blast Zone, Unknown. let's take a look at what you've got going on. Get this channeler value while I can. Don't really want that. Why not pitch the land? Because I want a double spell here. I wanted to Thoughtseize or Unholy Heat plus Kroxa. Red, black. 1, 2. How many lands do I have? One more. Everything position. Boom. Now they take 3 off of the blast zone getting ditched. No cards in hand. Don't you dare say Ulamog off the top. I don't need this kind of negativity. Alright, that's fine. Am I supposed to channel or hold up Drown in the Lock here? Is that crazy? Or am I supposed to go for... Yeah. Alright, so Bobble, Shadow, Ragavan, Chandler, Shredder. When this goes horribly, horribly wrong, I know who to blame. Survey says... Oh, man. I want to know what they drew. I want to know so badly. Spider Space, what's up? Alright, Tron. Spell Pierces. Mystical Dispute is a bad counter spell. Kate Command. Damping Sphere. Turok, possibly. For anybody that's like new to the stream, anything we put in here isn't like I'm guaranteed to bring these cards in. It's just the things I want to consider. And I put them over here so I can line them up against what I'm taking out, and I can make a decision from there. Like, how do I think these compare to these or something else? Even dress downs for the Shadow. So I think I want to do something like that. Damping Sphere, an extra threat, 2 Spell Pierces, extra K Command. Yeah, let's go with this. Got an idea for a fixed Tron. A symbol of 3 lands, you can generate 1 extra mana. Let's similarly depower all the other decks and see if the format is fun. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Alright. So the hope with a hand like this is I can find my way to like Damping Sphere or something pretty quickly. And then next turn I can like Channeler, Thoughtseize. If all the decks are similarly bad, does tier 1 exist? You're going way too big brain for me on a Monday afternoon. Alright. Survey says no no Damping Sphere. Instead, here's a whole bunch of lands. Do I want an iteration? Yeah, I guess it digs me a little bit farther. They have a blast zone. So we're going to take Spear. Get rid of a draw. Alright, what you got? Hopefully nothing. Top deck another map, sure. Alright. So, what am I hoping to hit off of this? Like, is there an argument that I'd rather just croak some? I think I would rather just Croxa. Like, guarantee I can escape it next turn. I think it plays a little bit better against this known blast zone. Now the question is our opponent gonna let us get in the free 6 damage? Survey says nope. Worth a try. Alright, so let's get back Croxa. Land, Chandler, Shredder. And then next turn we can double spell with Chandler and Expressive Iteration. Their cards are Tower, Forest, Unknown, Unknown. Raggy T. Swag Tusk, as some people call him. Her. I don't know if there's a way to tell the gender identity of a Thragtusk. Thragfather, Thragdaddy. Okay. Land's pretty sweet. Hiya. Alright, now how do I want to approach this turn? Like, okay, so my options are I can Channeler first and then Iteration to try to find like a Drown in the Lock, I think is probably best card here. The other option is I can Iteration first so that if I find a Croxa, I can Croxa away the Nurturing Peatland in hand. I think I'd rather just Iteration first in case I find Croxa. Rewarded. Alright, so let's go Iteration to hand, Delta to the bottom, Croxa to exile. Cast the Croxa. Keep this Croxa. So we get Peatland out of hand. And we'll shock in Watery Grave so we can spell Pierce a Karn. Come on. Come on, spell Pierce a Karn. Come on, spell Pierce a Karn. Not quite a Karn. Guess we can get rid of their revealed zone. Come on, spell Pierce a Karn. Oh, do I need to spell pierce this? Yes. Because I don't want them to find a worm coil off this and be able to play it. Now, if they get anything more than 4 mana, I can attack him with Kroxa, and they have to ditch it. So, Karn the Great Creator. Unfortunately, that's probably the best one they could find off that. Do still have an Unholy Heat in my deck. I guess they can get like a Tormod's Crypt here, just get something they don't care about so they can ditch it. Sorceress Spyglass. Okay. So I need to iteration here. Okay. I can do all of these things. The only problem is I can't stop Karn from getting Ensnaring Bridge next turn. So let's go Damping Sphere to hand, Inquisition to exile. Can recast Kroxa a bunch of times. So, am I casting the Damping Sphere here? Like, let's say I attack Kroxa at Karn. So then, yeah, I definitely want an Inquisition so that Kroxa triggers dealing 3. I attack at Karn in case they decide to not block. It doesn't change the clock at all, but it gets Karn off the board in case they decide. Yeah. So then, do I want a Damping Sphere or do I want a Shadow and try to top deck or use the Damping Sphere for Channeler draw or Channeler scry? Let's just get it down. Just so they can't top deck like a Worm Coil Engine. But we do have 2 K commands in the 75, so yep. sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. Artifact, creature, land, sorcery, instant. Got instant in the yard. And I'm about to put creature back in the yard. Okay. Don't want to tick it up on your ensnaring bridge? No? Alright, so here's Channeler. I guess I do want to play out the shadow here. Because if they have like another blast zone or something and they get rid of Channeler plus shadow, it just helps to fuel the Kroxa. Oh, give me something to drown. Give me something to drown. Whew. Whew. A sweet, sweet drown value. Probably save shadows to double spell with letter. Yeah, I'm not casting out the second shadow. Alright, so I can escape Kroxa for a guaranteed 1 trigger. Put him down to 1. Doesn't really matter. Hear a dog going haywire in the background. Alright, so we just need to get enough stuff in the graveyard to escape Kroxa again. I guess they can Karn minus and go and get like a relic or something. But at the same time, if they don't play out this other hand, like if they draw something that's too big to cast, then Channeler can just swing in for lethal. Kicking a Turok. I can't discard this self on myself, can I? No, target opponent. Why didn't they get coding? No idea. Tron players are weird. So I could Inquisition myself and escape. Or not escape Kroxa, Inquisition myself, ditch Shadow. I'm not attacking through the bridge anymore, so I think I just want to get the card out of hand. Okay. They win with coding. I wouldn't say they win. Like, it's gonna take a few turns. Okay. Those stones fine. So I can escape Kroxa next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, next turn if I draw something I can cast. Do I need to just ditch this shadow now? Yeah. So if I find like a bauble or something, I need to be able to double spell next turn. And with the damping sphere, I can't at the moment. Do I want to dress down at the end of my turn so that they can't activate Ballista? Slash, do I care if they activate Ballista? No. Ooh. Funky spot. Assume they just go and get like a relic or Tormod's Crypt or something. Yeah. Alright, well they don't have a Karn anymore, so I just gotta find K-Command. Don't dress down on his instep, so you missed the Croxa trigger. Right. And do it during their second main phase. But now with Tormod's Crypt, the Croxa plan isn't dead, but it's at least like out of play for another turn. Are they cracking O-Stone? I mean, if they crack O-Stone and then Tormod's Crypt, it's pretty rough for me. I can still just like find a K command for lethal burn, so that's a thing. Elias rating with a party of 44. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome everybody. For anybody coming to check out the stream for the first time, my name is Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a whole bunch of Modern, especially a whole lot of Death Shadow. So if you're interested in checking it out, feel free to jump into chat. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, what got you into Magic, why Death Shadow is the best archetype in Modern. Why we're totally going to top deck a K command. That was almost it. Alright, is there any way that I can sequence this to get back Croxa right away? Maybe they don't respond to this. We'll just send you cats, that's easier. I am A-okay with cats as well. I'm allergic to them, but I think they're really cool. Especially like the Bengal cats. I hear they're like kind of hypoallergenic, so I'm a fan of those. Are you from Philly? Your accent sounds like it. I am not. I am from about as far in the deep south as you can go. I'm from central Mississippi. Go away, Swag Tusk. Alright, so they can pump up Ballista here, which they don't, naturally. Funniest reason got into Modern was because of Snapcaster. Snapcaster's a pretty awesome card. Like, you're never going to hear me complain about that being a reason someone got into Modern. Dude, that is a lot of cats. Oh, snap. Well, you know what we've got? We've got stuff related to Death Shadow. Boom. Long OU sounds make me think you were from Philly. What if I said that's got a long OU? I'm trying to think of like what that would sound like. Cats are cuter than Death Shadow. That's sacrilege. Thank you very much. What kind of evil have you brought upon the chat? Was Paladin played in Shadow? No, but after this match, I'll show you why that's an emote for our channel. And you might get a kick out of it. As long as I don't die in the meantime, which I might. See if I can find. So I've got a whole bunch of the card. I'll kind of show it while opponent's going on. Got a whole bunch of the card Embereth Paladin, which people kept giving me in our pre-release for Throne of Eldraine. And here is why. So if anybody has not seen the art for Embereth Paladin, this is Embereth Paladin. And then if anybody has not seen the art for Control Freak, this is Control Freak. And apparently people thought they looked similar, so people just started giving me all these copies of Embereth Paladin. And so at the end of the day I was like, alright, you know what, we're rolling with it. It's gonna feel really bad if I flip over the K command, but the idea was if I don't flip over K command, I get a card closer to K command. And that's the end goal here. Paladin was not draft chaff. That was a 4-mana 4/2 or 5/2. Card was great. No, it really wasn't that good, but it was hilarious because the pack, the time, like, the beard was a little bit thick, kind of like it is now. So that card came out and it was just like, oh yeah, that's totally Michael on a card. What artist did you pay off for this? And I was like, I didn't. They were like, you did. And I was like, ah. Alright, so I am bobbling them because either the next card on top of my library is a K command or it's not. Like, there's nothing I can do if it is or if it isn't. And if it is, then I just have to draw it and hope they, like, they should activate Ballista in response to my bobble trigger. But we'll see. Geralin? Give me a pronunciation here. I'm going to need it. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Monday so far. Oh my god, we could have attacked. I got so caught up in the shenanigans of Ensnaring Bridge. No. 100% my fault. I got caught up. Doesn't kill the Ballista, but maybe they throw something at it. Absolutely punt count. Ah, need an exclamation point. There we go. Punted twice today. This is a bad track record for all the new people coming to check it out. Let's see. Are they... They're shooting... Classic Michael indeed. I think we just got to punt back to us. Because what they could have done is just let the Unholy Heat resolve, gone to our turn, and pinged us 5 times on my upkeep. Yeah. Justice. Justice. Alright, Jor Allen. It was one of my D&D characters, so it's not too important if you get it wrong. It's absolutely important. Like, if your D&D character is something that's important to you, then it's important to us on the stream. So I want to make sure I get pronunciations right. But ironically, we do just get to kill them here. Opponent sure did get MTGO'd. I mean, to be fair, like, both of us just had lethal and we're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't really care to end this game. This is like watching the Jets play against the Jaguars, punting all over the place. That match right there at the end was the equivalent of the Mark Sanchez butt fumble. Can't convince me otherwise. All right. I'm going to throw the deck up here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be right back, and we will continue going. But here's the list for anybody interested. Stay tuned. All right, had to get some water. Got to stay hydrated. But yeah, for anybody that came over in the raid, if it's your first time checking out the stream, I kind of mentioned that we play a bunch of like modern on the stream, a bunch of Death Shadow. We've started branching out recently. We're playing like some more Pioneer, trying out that format a little bit. But if there's something that y'all are wanting to see, always open to hear it out. Getting my new irons and driver in tomorrow. We should play this summer. I am down. Alright, so a few lands. We get Shredder. So we can go like turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Shredder plus Bobble, trigger the Shredder. Turn 3 we've got Drown in the lockup, so pretty solid, straightforward Shadow hand. Breeding Pool, go. Alright, so let's go Get Blood Crypt, play Inquisition. I could bobble myself on turn 1 in Inquisition, but I really think I want to double spell with this Shredder. Alright, so they can't currently play the Wrenn in 6. Obviously, it's pretty bad if they draw into a fetch land. Am I just taking a remand? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Wrenn. It's like best card for them if they happen to get it online. Alright, so now, assuming this is gonna get remanded, but yep. Alright. So do find third land, which means they would have been able to cast Wrenn here, and it was a fetch land, so that could have been really unfortunate for us. So let's see if they want to remand this one. Yep. Which means I can get down Shadow. Icefang Quaddle's not live yet, so that's a plus. That, however, is live, so... Got Icefang Quaddle, sure. So I think if that's the case, I'm just going to play the second Ledger Shredder. Switch a Bobble. Alright, so they've got Cryptic Command and a whole slew of unknowns. This needs 3 other... Yeah, 3 other snow permanents, so that's not online just yet. Ooh, do I want to dash a Ragavan? How do I want to do this? I could start with Unholy Heat. See if that baits Cryptic Command, which I don't think it would. I could start dashing Ragavan. Like, part of the issue here is they don't have to put 4th card in the yard to cast Cryptic Command. And I don't want to commit a bunch of mana to something. Let's Unholy Heat. Wrenn. I don't want to commit a bunch of mana to something that might put me real behind. Like if I cast Iteration and they cast Cryptic Command, like counter bounce a Ledger Shredder or something. So tap all my dudes, counter the Unholy Heat. Okay. Let's go Iteration. Shredder. Drown to hand, Ragavan to the bottom, Thoughtseize to exile. Cryptic command. Let's go. So now I've got to decide, do I want to like aggressively drown this Ice Fang Coatl? Also, props to them for making repeal relevant in 2022. Okay. So let's drown. And get this Ice Fang online, so I think I'm just going to destroy the Ice Fang. Ditch Croxa. Attack them. Control Freak, I will kiss you. Ooh. I feel loved. I don't know what I've done to deserve such high praise. Oh, iteration's a little rough for me. Does make my Ledger Shredder better. That's a really big, like, alliteration. Does make my Ledger Shredder better. Better Shredder of Ledgers, some might say. This is a pretty sizable Shredder, so we'll see. I guess their best draws would be something like, I'm assuming this is just like Bring to Light, Scapeshift in some variety. But I haven't seen a fourth color, so ooh, the main phase Archmage's Charm, draw 2. What does that mean for me? So I can Shredder, Unholy Heat, Ren, and I get 2 draws at finding a another land or like hand disruption spell, something like that. Or I can iteration, look for land, hand disruption. I think iteration's a little bit better. Now my dashing Ragavan. So I'm doing this in case I hit exactly like Lightning Bolt off the top of their library. Plus it gives me another mana source, so like I can still play Drown in the Loch or whatever. But the fear obviously is that they just have like Scapeshift plus Cryptic Command or Archmage's Charm or whatever. think they've got like approximately 500 ways to deal with everything I've got going on here. Give or take. But we'll see. I'm not dead yet, so that's a plus. And every little like growth spiral card they cast cuts them back on mana. It might not even be a Scapeshift deck. It might just be like a Temur, draw cards, bounce your stuff back to hand deck. I mean, Ice Fang Coatl with a bunch of like snow-covered islands and snow-covered forests doesn't really scream Scapeshift. Odawara. Can't do much about that. Ren and 6 Odawara. Double bolt. Nope. So let's dash Ragavan. I could have played the Ledger Shredder first, but I really want to hold up like the double Drown in the Lock. We get a bolt. Bolt one time. Not a bolt. So let's go ahead and take down Ren. I don't think I'm supposed to recast Shredder here. I think I'm just supposed to sit on Drown. Like if they're sitting on Odawara, weird Temur Wreck maybe. Maybe, but I'm not seeing like Shark Typhoons or some of the typical Temur Wreck suspects. What's the new 4-mana one? Memory Deluge. Yeah, so it is just Scapeshift. Yeah. Make them show me the mountains. So let's see, they saw 3 Remands, 2 Archmage's Charms, 2 Cryptic Commands, Repeal, some number of Ren and 6. Good to keep an eye on what they've got access to. Alright, we're dead to Scapeshift. And obviously this is like the kind of matchup where Tarmogoyf looks a lot better when you have access to like just get them dead cards. Should have just played around it. Should have. I think that constitutes a punt on my part, just not playing around our opponent killing us. I'll keep in Shredders on the play. Haven't seen Scapeshift in a while. That's what our stream specializes in, like finding things that you haven't seen since 2016 and figuring out how to lose to them. Alright, what have we played against so far? We played against Hammertime, and we played against Tron. Grixis has not been favorable for us recently. Is there any way to make this, like, stop auto-minimizing? It's not looking good for the home team. Sorry, Turok. I'm just gonna really have to rip this second land. Hope our opponent doesn't have the card Lightning Bolt. Survey says. Haha. Alright, so now we can get down the Ledger Shredder. Opponent plays Ren in 6. They ping our Channeler. We do something relevant to the game of Magic as a follow-up. Let's cast Blood Moon, easy game 2. If only we had access to the Magic card Blood Moon. That's a pretty good one. So we can go dash Ragavan, swing both at you. Then Unholy Heat the Ren. I want to cast the Shadow here. More 96, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Monday so far. Oh, what am I ditching? I think I'm just ditching the Blood Crypt. Like, obviously I need to draw another land at some point, but if I find a third land here naturally, then being able to, like, double spell Shadow or Ragavan plus Drown's a lot better. Alright, let's play out Ragavan. Maybe they flash in like an Ice Fang Coatl. Nope. Worth a try. Guess they still could. I'd be super happy with that. So, kill you, get our Ledger Shredder trigger. Get your Bauble, grow the Shredder. I had to step away for a bit. The shredding going all right. The Shredder's been a little eh. Like, I would really like another land in most of the games that I get the Shredder down. So I feel like 19 lands or so if you're going heavy on Shredder. Mainly because it draws a card, like, less about the tapping down the Shredder. This beat is funky and I dig it. I like this. I'm a fan. Still my Shadow. difference over here. Like, who's the shadow deck now? Yeah, curving out for sure. Like, this game has really been, or the games I've had Shredder, it's really been about, like, I want to do something proactive on turn 2, and Shredder hasn't really been it. But then if I'm not playing the Shredder, then if I'm not hitting the land drops and being able to, like, double spell Ledger Shredder plus Expressive Iteration or something later, like, what am I accomplishing? What do I think of that one? It's like didn't have enough going on. Like, Shredder would have been a lot better as Street Wraith that game. Or Tarmogoyf. Like, I guess that's part of what Shredder is missing in this list, is just like, the list is almost dictating that you play out Shredder on turn 2 if you have it, because if you've only got 2 lands, you're not really going to be able to, like, double spell Shredder plus something else later. So you want to, like, play Shredder on 2 and then have double 1-drop on 3 or something like that, or, like, iteration into something. But Shredder itself just, like, isn't an impactful 2-drop. Why not run Shredder and Street Wraith? Because Street Wraith doesn't trigger the Shredder, and you've got to cut something for the Shredder, and we ended up cutting the Street Wraiths because, like, everything else is kind of in line with what Shredder's wanting to do. But from the look of it right now, we need to cut, like, a Dress Down, a K Command, and, like, something else for more lands. Plus, if we run Street Wraith, we can't run Gigantha. Alright, so opponent kept 7, we kept 7. Or Tron. Alright. Death Shadow kind of sucks without Street Wraith. You can't deploy it anywhere near as fast and push it back a turn cycle or two. I mean, for the most part, I pretty much agree. Like, Street Wraith adds a lot of value to Death Shadow decks that they just, like, don't have access to otherwise. That being said, like, there are matchups where being able to grind really well without lowering your life total is relevant. So that's really good for getting Delirium online. So they just have Tron. Alright. So I think that means I want to go ahead and cast this Bauble now, so I can try to find a Thoughtseize.
The goal of practice is always to keep our beginner's mind.
Not you. Not you.
For a while, you will keep your beginner's mind. But if you continue to practice 1, 2, 3 years or more, although you may improve some, you're liable to lose the
big one.
limitless meaning of original mind.
Meta's pretty fast and hard right now for Shredding in Shadow. Not hating because testing is awesome and streaming it is sweet, but also kind of highlights why you've been feeling pretty good on Jund. Right, like the Jund variants just being able to have a real clock with Tarmogoyf has been huge. And I think, like, being able to grind in some matches is nice, but at the end of the day, like, I don't think grinding wins you as many games as just, like, getting your opponent to 0 life. See, yeah, of course, but if you're not lowering your life total, Death Shadow basically 4 do nothing blanks somewhere in your hand and library. So that's actually a really good point, and it's something that I've brought up on stream several times before, is I feel like a lot of the current builds of Death Shadow, like the Grixis list especially, would just be better if Death Shadow weren't in the deck. Like, I feel like you could replace Death Shadow with Ledger Shredder straight up and, like, be happier with the performance of the deck, because you're not really taking advantage of Death Shadow being Death Shadow. You're just playing it there because you're playing a bunch of fetches and shocks and Thoughtseize, and, like, eventually your life total will be low enough. I think you play Rag here instead of DRC to get the guaranteed 4th mana. Well, if I played Ragavan, then I couldn't play Kroxa, and I needed to get Kroxa in the yard. So I either had to dash Ragavan and then use that extra mana, or just, like, hard cast the Ragavan. But if I'm going to hard cast a threat, then the DRC would just be, like, the bigger threat. Chalice of the Void on 1. Mendis, the stream stop for anybody else? It's frozen for me. It's not frozen for me. I mean, obviously it's not frozen for me. That might have been a terrible comment. There's a spicy prowess deck using a mix of all the blue-red threats, including Murktide and Shredder in top 16 of the challenge. Kind of highlights some of these points you're talking about. Do you have a link to the list? Alright, so I think last time we sideboarded something... something like this. Board out Drown. Not really anything else I want to bring in. I think people forgot about Scourge of the Skyclaves, which is almost just a better Goyf that doesn't allow your opponents to attack you on the graveyard access and hit almost all your creatures. People didn't forget about Scourge. The problem is Scourge just, like, auto loses to Solitude, where Tarmogoyf doesn't. And, like, in matchups against things like Tron and Amulet Titan, where your opponent isn't going to be damaging themselves with their mana base, Scourge can get really, really awkward if you don't have a good 1-drop. Inquisition into Ledger Shredder. Like, this is the kind of hand where if Ledger Shredder were a Tarmogoyf, obviously we wouldn't be running Dress Down in our Tarmogoyf list, but this would be like a really good hand against Tron. Just like turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Tarmogoyf. But because this is Ledger Shredder, I don't think this is a good hand. Double in the fact that, like, we're not double spelling ever. So I think I'd rather have a hand with, like, a Ragavan on turn 1. And I can just, like, dump the Shredder here. Modern Horizons was a fun set in that matter. Yeah, Modern Horizons, like, kind of threw everything for a loop, right? Like, I thought Modern... Did they keep a no-lander with a ley line? Is this the world we're living in? I think they kept a no-lander with a ley line. You got it. But yeah, I think Modern, like, right before Modern Horizons released was really fun. And then Modern Horizons came out and the format was like, what are we doing? I think I want that. Am I casting Chromatic Star? Not if I just have the land on top, right? Yeah. Because I kind of want to see if they'll, like, aggressively pop this relic just to draw a card. I'm a little scared now. Did they, like, keep Tron on the draw or on the play and then just, like, not play a land drop on turn one? Talk about a flex. Stack. Stack. So I think what I'm going to do is just, like, double Croxa to get them empty-handed. See, Elidian, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome, awesome Monday so far. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out and checking out the stream. Which, I know everybody hates it, and they're cheesy and corny and terrible, but I gotta do a call to action at some point. Just, if you're enjoying the stream and you're having a good time, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know whenever we go live so you can come check it out. That's it. That's my call to action. It's gone. It's over. The bad call to action can't hurt you anymore. Dredge the Bed, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you as well are having an awesome Monday so far. Thanks for coming and checking everything out. And as Steven is kind enough to point out, we've also got our Twitter link and everything else in case you want to see when we go live. Sometimes I'm good about posting on Twitter. A lot of times I'm not. So, whoops. Destructotron coming in with the sub. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Stubscribers. Enjoy access to all of our sweet custom Death Shadow emotes. And Destructotron coming in with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much yet again. Welcome. Welcome everybody to the Stubscribers. Greatly appreciate the support. Do I want a shadow? I guess so. It's a little bit better of a clock. But yeah, if anybody is ever interested in checking out to get their own emotes done, we've got a link down below to our artist Jill's Instagram page. You're more than welcome to shoot her a message, see about getting your own emotes drawn up. So if you want something cool and customized, she does really awesome work. Highly recommend it. Long live Shadow. Indeed. I want to spell pierce this. Let me spell pierce. Ha! Right on top where we shuffled him away. Just how we drew it up. Alright, I think I'm going to... Her link should be right down below. Let's see if we can show it real quick. Alright, so if you're on the channel and you look down here, about me, over here on the right side, you can see support our emo artist Jill. It'll take you straight to her page. She does a whole lot of awesome artwork. So if you're ever wanting any sort of like custom pieces, or not only like emotes, but just any sort of artistic piece, wanting like a cosplay built, wanting a figurine done, anything, she does all sorts of cool work. So, alright, so we're gonna play out Shadow. Thoughtseize myself in case I get to flip over Delirium for Channeler, which I do, and that's a good one to flip over because I can't target my opponent with it anyway. And that means we are presenting lethal next turn. Funny enough, I tried a Shadow Nahiri list, like 4 mana Nahiri. Like the red-white Nahiri, because that was the first deck I ever started with in Modern, was the Jeskai Nahiri deck that just like Emrakul'd people. And it was super fun. It wasn't good, but it was really hilarious getting to remand people just like over and over and over again. So that's another win against Tron. The one that cheated out Emrakul, yeah. The one that was just like built around ultimating Nahiri. Let's see. Eris, think we would benefit from trying to build a pre-MH2 GDS list, but with 2 or 3 Murktide instead of Angler. We could maybe even fit in a bird or 2 and bring back Stub. So we played a list the other day that had like some number of Gurmag Anglers, like 3 Gurmags and 1 Murktide. And it wasn't bad. Like the Murktide, when we did draw it, was nice. I wouldn't want a bunch of them, but it's like a cool piece to have access to. Blood Crypt. So is this a mirror match? I'm just trying to find second land. If they have answer to Ragavan swinging with their Ragavan, we're going to be pretty behind. If they have an Unholy Heat or a Bolt here. They do not. Just get the MH2 Mythics. Having to chase $100 Lilianas isn't something I'd miss anytime soon. I mean, Liliana's still pretty good right now, thankfully. Ugh. Alright. What you got going on? Shadow and a Channeler. This will take a Channeler. Don't want to offer up this Ragavan trade. But I need to find another land to be able to get the Shredder down. I feel like if I find another land, I get Shredder on the board, then I can kind of stonewall a little bit here. I mean, now that the door of power creep insanity is open, I have zero interest in buying super pushed and stupid mythics just to see them getting overpowered. Something even more absurd after a couple years. Watsy stated that, oh, alright. That's going to be GG's for me. That's too much value on the board to handle. But that's why we got games 2 and 3. Alright, things I am not so fond of. Thought seizes, inquisitions. Board out, address down. Yeah, on the play, Ragavan's a little bit better. So this is a definite Ledger Shredder matchup. I just want to go like that. But yeah, like, you're right about being concerned that if, like, you buy the big mythic this year, they might power creep it in a year. But I'd also be more concerned about, like, if you buy the big mythic this year and they come out and ban it next year, if it's something like Ragavan, then you might just be out $400 or something on your playset there. And that can be pretty bad for a lot of people. Like, I would hate to be out huge money on some stuff like that right now. Remember, next year we'll have another big modern set. That's true as well. Alright, so if they play Ren here, ping the Channeler, I get to untap, K command, kill the Ren, get back Channeler. I'm just gonna get a land back. Alright. Let's just poke at Ren for one here. Play out Shredder. I know about Watery Grave, so I'm not giving away this polluted Delta. No, my Ledger Shredder. Pretty rude, OP. Pretty rude. Do I think Monkey will be banned soon in Modern? I think Ren and 6 will get banned before Monkey does. Which is, like, a little unfortunate, but I do think Ren is probably more problematic than Monkey. Sick to see you live again. I know, I'm enjoying getting back into it a bit. Which I saw your tweet, what was it, yesterday or the day before, about the problem, or Pioneer currently being less exciting than Modern, or having like more problems than Modern but easier to fix. And I definitely agree after the games that I've played. Like, there's some pain in the ass cards in Pioneer. Let's see. So let's return Ledger Shredder, make you discard. Why is Ren that good? It's just a mediocre card before MH2. It's the same idea behind, like, Birthing Pod. Like, every time you make a good land, especially a good land like these new channel lands and things like that, Ren just gets exponentially better. So the introduction of like Otawara, Takanuma, all those just like makes Ren better. The finishing up the Horizon Canopy cycle makes Ren better. And Holy Heat Bolt Shadow. Sure. Bolt me. All right. All right. Let's find something good here. Drown's not bad, but I really need to get rid of this Ren and 6. Their Rens have looked pretty good this match. People also didn't die to Once Upon a Time. Still boring design and good it's gone. Yeah, like Once Upon a Time was a pretty problematic card. We'll just drown this. That way they can't get their scry value if they've got another spell. Dying to a Ren Emblem. Alright, what did I think of that league? Like, we punted match 1 against Hammertime. So we'll definitely take that loss is on me. Ledger Shredder. It's so tough. 4 of them's like not bad if you want to see it that aggressively, but the card didn't really impress me. It's not what I wanted to be doing on turn 2 more often than not. Like, it was cool. I also noticed a pattern of having Croxa in hand a lot of time with like DRC hands when you want them in the graveyard or in the deck to flip over. Not that that relates to Ledger Shredder, but it's just kind of funny that league to have it happen a lot. But I think with Shredder, I want more lands, like 19 or so. Maybe go down to 3 Shredders. So I could see like cutting a Shredder, cutting a dress down, and adding 2 more lands. I don't think that would be the worst plan in the world. But yeah, I think that's where I would start with this. Like, minus a Shredder, add like the, I guess, 3rd Tarn since I want to keep Croxa. And then cut like a dress down, add 2 more lands here. Sideboard was okay. I'm not as big on dress down as a lot of people, I know that. But obviously the card did some work against Urza's Sagas, so I can't be like too upset about it.